Welcome back to Arise News Hour. I'm Charles Aniagolu. Now to the Democratic Republic of Congo, where there's been what appears to be a political breakthrough after clashes that left at least 50 people dead. The opposition bloc say they've reached agreement in principle with the ruling party over the transition of power. It'll keep incumbent President Joseph Kabila in office until the end of 2017, despite his term having officially expired. But a new prime minister would be chosen from amongst the opposition. The unexpected deal was brokered by the Catholic Church, and Pope Francis is said to have spoken directly with President Kabila, appealing to him and opposition leaders to work for peace. Church officials, though, have cautioned that there are still outstanding issues, but are optimistic that the agreement could be signed within 24 hours. Anti-government protests erupted earlier this week after President Kabila, who is bound by the constitution to step down after serving 2 consecutive terms, refused to leave office when his term expired on the 20th of December. Well, joining me in the studio now are supporters of both sides of this dispute. Michel Ngue-Awane is a writer and supporter of President Kabila, and Okito Tungomo is a member of the opposition Congolese support group. Thank you very much indeed, gentlemen, for joining us. Let's just start with your reaction, Mr. Tungomo, to that deal, which was apparently brokered by the Catholic Church.
Yes, we are extremely very surprised to hear that. First of all, I can even mention this again. It's still under principle. There's still so many issues to work out on that deal. Mr. Kabila, I have to recognize that he is the person who was in charge of the country, and he did fail to organize the election.
Yeah, but are you happy that an agreement has been reached?
Well, we are not happy with the agreement.
That will probably end the violence and the tension on the streets.
It is in a principle at the moment. We have to respect the value of Constitution, and no Congolese is ready to accept Mr. Kabila to continue. The agreement by the Catholic Church is been just in there, but we feel this agreement is going to be acceptable because at the moment Kabila have to step down.
Now, you and I were talking yesterday, Michel, and you were here on the program, and your big point was that if what it would take to keep the DRC safe is to have Mr. Kabila remain in office, then he should stay in office.
That's right. And I'm so happy. I'm happy that they reached this agreement, because there's no point, continuing to let people die where we can reach a solution. I praise the opposition. I praise the Catholic Church that had managed to have this agreement in principle. And I hope, sincerely hope, that will become something. The agreement will be signed. Let me clarify something. I want peace, not just in Congo, but everywhere in Africa. And the only way we can have peace is for the citizens of this continent to work together, the citizens of Congo to work together. And the most important thing now would be that they try to end the war in every part of the country.
Right, okay, well, that's a much broader scope, isn't it? Let's focus on the DRC. I mean, the big question, Mr. Tungomo, is will this succeed? Because looking at the history of the DRC, you've never had a peaceful handover of power.
Excellent. That's extremely what we're talking about. Mr. Kabila really missed the opportunity to give the country the chance to have a credible leaders and the change of the power. We're going again to strategy where we have to accept another way of having negotiation and the people leading the country illegally. Speaking now, we have to come about the justice. Over more than 100 to 1,000 people being killed by Mr. Kabila. Justice have to be done by those people. His mandate has expired on the 20th of this month, was his last time in office. We should respect the Constitution and have an additional transitional government without Mr. Kabila at the moment. The Catholic are trying to find a solution, which we are accepting the way they've been trying to work harder to get in peaceful way.
We're just looking at a bit of the history of that was
Mobutu, General Mobutu.
No, not Mobutu. The other person just before him.
It was Patrice Lumumba.
Yeah, Lumumba, who was executed, and then Mobutu took over. So there's been this history of basically problems with handovers. People simply don't want to hand over. And let me ask you this, Michel. I mean, what that raises is whether this deal could be too good to be true. I mean, the Pope intervened, the Catholic Church intervened, everybody said, okay, well, you know, let's just do it. Because, I mean, looking at Gambia and just following on your rather broad scope of sort of examination of Africa, the president of Gambia, Yahya Jammeh, you know, initially said he would step down and then change his mind.
I didn't believe Jammeh. I didn't believe, because I know his history. I know what he is and who he's been in the past. But the situation is different. Congo is different from Gambia, and that's why my analysis are always correct.
Can I interrupt that, Michel? Because I think it's completely different things. When you say the situation is different. It's different. This is a person, you got Mr. Kabila in the power.
True.
Since 2001, is a person who never respected the Constitution. I don't think the agreement is being made today. It's a temporary agreement that will jeopardize the liberty of people. We have to fight for freedom. We have to see the liberty.
We've been fighting since the 1950s.
All the African leaders,
We've been fighting since the 1950s, Mr. Tongomo, and nothing have changed in Africa. Are we continuing to fight and let people die?
Gentlemen, you have to let one person speak.
We have to fight until Mr. Kabila have to go. Because he never has... Look, can I show you an example? In 2006, Mr. Kabila breached the constitution, allowing himself to be in power where the previous constitution said clearly, to be a president, you must have a 45 years old. He was only 29 years. He changed the constitution, allowing himself to stay in power. In 2011, he breached again the constitution, refusing the television debate, refusing to accept to go the second term of the election. Mr. Kabila have a track record of breaching the law. And this time around, we had a lot of pressure from the international community. They've been asked, since 2015, more than 100 Congolese people were killed as a result of Mr. Kabila refusing to accept it.
You're responsible for that. No, can I finish? You must give him much, because we haven't got all day.
Yeah, it's a dangerous ground if we want to establish another transitional government where we have only 1 year. We're not going to end up with something stable, isn't it? It's better we give him this 1 year to do that, and we have to put him under pressure. And I believe that. I sincerely believe.
Going to do anything in 5 years.
I believe.
Can I just get in here, gentlemen? I mean, he has a point in the sense that if you want to establish peace, clearly the man isn't going to. They were absolutely insistent that they were not going to. But nobody is going to. How are you going to get him dislodged? Okay, let's talk about the.
Kabila has got short to the rest of the planet.
Okay, but can I just say this? Let's just talk about the fact that this could have been a lifesaver, this agreement, for the opposition, because it was not at all clear how long opposition supporters could have gone on demonstrating before having to go back to work or whatever they do. Because, I mean, they have to work to feed, and they simply wouldn't survive if they didn't
fight for the freedom and the liberty and the stability of the country. We have a history of leaders staying in power until they're going to be executed or killed. We want to see the change now.
Okay, let me have the last word. Last word from you, quickly.
Can I just say something? I was very happy when Mobutu went. I was very happy when Mobutu went, and we had Laurent Kabila who came, and sadly he went quickly. And I can say that since the son Kabila has taken power, he has not had chance, because people have been fighting everywhere to take power. The problem shouldn't be who is going to be in power. The problem should be, what do we do for our country, and how the country is going to move forward.
Okay.
And peace is 50 people already dead. What is the result? If we continue, people will continue to die. I'm happy that...
On that hopeful note, I want to say thank you very much indeed, Mr. Tongomo, and of course, Okita Tongomo, a member of the opposition Congolese support group, and of course, Michel Ngue-Awane, who is a writer and supporter of Mr. Kabila. Thank you very much indeed.